Ireland have just released their team to take on Japan in round 2 of the Nations Championship. Now, we're going to react to this together. I actually haven't even seen the team. I just saw it came out, saved the image. Now, we're going to react to it together, see who they've chosen, see who we maybe would have picked, and see how close we were to our predicted team. But before we do get into it, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I really do appreciate all the support. And as you probably well know by now, the Irish fans on this channel have been absolutely incredible. By far the best. I mean, coming in numbers, in the comments, absolutely awesome comments, and I really do appreciate it. I've only been following Irish rugby now for since I played against the All Blacks really in Chicago last year, is where I felt a bit sorry for them. So I was like, okay, let me actually see what's going on with this team. And from then, I've really been enjoying how Ireland plays. And yeah, I mean, they really are going in the right direction. You can feel it. They've got, I think, is it 6 wins in a row now or something like that? They're doing much better right now. They've had some really good performances this year after some very sloppy performances at the start of the season and, of course, the end of last year. But before we do get into it, if you do enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button. So thank you so much. But let's get right into it. Starting off with number 1, Tom O'Toole. Number 2, Ronan Kelleher. Number 3, Thomas Clarkson. Number 4, and captain, Tide Byrne. Number 5, James Ryan. Number 6, Jack Conan. Number 7, Nick Timoney. Number 8, making his debut, Sean Janssen. That's a really good one there. Number 9 to start, Craig Casey. Number 10, Kieran Frawley. Oh, that's going to be very good. Number 11, Jacob Stockdale. Number 12, Stuart McCloskey. Number 13, Robbie Henshaw. Number 14, Jimmy O'Brien. Number 15, Jamie Osborne. And then on the bench, we have Tom Stewart, Billy Bowen, Sam Illo. So that's 2 potential debutants on the bench already. Cormac Izuchuku, another one, Bryn Ward, another potential debutant at number 20. Number 21, Nathan Doak, come on. Number 22, Harry Byrne, and number 23, Bundi Aki. Well, looking at it for the first time right now, it's definitely much changed. But there's some really good players here, which actually shows the depth Ireland have right now. For instance, Thomas Clarkson's been awesome this year. Ronan Kelleher, one of the best backup hookers in the world. Tide Byrne coming in from the bench last week, now to starting and captain. Him versus Joe McCarthy. I mean, Tide Byrne probably is a better player, but you really know that there's a lot of depth there if you have a guy like Tide Byrne that can come in for a guy like Joe McCarthy. James Ryan at number 5. Of course, some guys have to play because you can't change the entire team. There's just not enough guys. I mean, I think they go with like 35 or something, or 33 players on tour, so it just makes sense. James Ryan will do a lot of hard work, and I think against a Japan team like they have right now, if your forward pack really works hard, especially in that first 60 minutes, and really grinds them down, really works them down with some hard work off the ball. James Ryan works really well in that engine room for them, dominates them at set piece, and you can really grind down a team like Japan. But if you keep a team like Japan kind of in the game, self-belief as well, they've seen it before with the 2019 World Cup, then Japan really, when they play confident, they play very well and they take it to another level as well. So I do like that selection there. Of course, the loose trio looks really fun. Jack Conan, Nick Timoney, and Sean Janssen. 3 really good ball carriers, 3 really good players, all of them hard workers. All of these guys, for their respective clubs, are like, honestly, they play kind of a similar role at their respective clubs. Like Jack Conan's that guy, that hard working guy in the loose forwards for Leinster, Nick Timoney for Ulster, and Sean Janssen for Connacht. So these 3 together in a loose trio is going to be really fun to watch. I do really like the look of that loose trio. Of course, maybe I thought Josh van der Fleer was going to play, but I agree with some of the comments. Probably was time for him to take a rest, to give guys like Timoney a start, because Nick Timoney is one of those guys, he really does deserve a start. Jack Conan deserves more starts. He's been playing a lot of rugby, but a lot more from the bench and starting lineup, kind of a mixture. So for him to actually start now for Ireland on a consistent basis will be really good for him, and that just shows his versatility. He can play 8, he can play 6, he can play wherever. He's a really solid player for Ireland, and probably, actually definitely one of the most underrated forwards in the world. Sean Janssen, a very, very good player that will be making his debut. He's one of those 4 guys that will be making their debut for Ireland, so that's going to be very exciting as well. And all 4 of those guys that are potentially going to be making their debut are all really deserving the opportunity. They really played well for their clubs, and I think they're going to not just be fine, I think they're going to thrive on the field this weekend. Now looking at the backline, number 9 and number 10, Craig Casey and Kieran Frawley. I can't lie, I was expecting to see Nathan Doak there, but I do understand that. I mean, Craig Casey's been around for a while now. He's played a lot of games from the bench. You have to reward him with the starts. I did think maybe that Craig Casey, being such a good bench player, keep him on the bench and start a guy like Nathan Doak. But still, either way, both of those guys 100% will get game time. And I think right now, before next year's World Cup, it still is a little bit of a battle to see who is going to be the backup scrum half. So a big game for Craig Casey, and also a big game for Nathan Doak when he comes out as well. Number 10, Kieran Frawley. We all love Kieran Frawley. This guy is such a good player. He's broken my heart before against the Springboks in Durban, with my hometown as well. Maybe I still don't forgive it, but very, very good player there. I'm really excited to see how he gets on. I think he probably will be around the number 10 jersey for Connacht. I don't know. Any Connacht fans, let me know down below what position you think he will play when he goes back to Connacht now, But seeing Kieran Frawley in the starting lineup is really good, because it shows that the coaches want to give guys an opportunity. Because for a long time, and a lot of people have been saying this, Ireland will play the exact same team every time. And now they've got a good opportunity against a good team who just got a good win against Italy, who's also a good team, to give some of these guys an opportunity to show what they can do and potentially work their way into the 23 as well. Because no spot in the 23 except for probably Jamison Gibson Park and probably Dan Sheehan is really that safe in the actual main team. Maybe Stuart McCloskey as well. But all these guys have an opportunity now to play for a position in the 23. And I think a lot of these guys will take the opportunity. And I think Kieran Frawley finally getting a starting kind of call up here, he'll honestly thrive in the environment, and he is a really solid player. And I think if you're not an Ireland fan and you are watching this video, keep an eye on Kieran Frawley, because he is one of those players that he just does some really special stuff. He makes the game look easy sometimes, but he's also one of those guys where it sometimes doesn't even look like he's trying hard, but he just does the right things at the right time. So I really do like him at 10 as well. I think even later in the game, you can pop him at fullback, you can pop him in the centres if you really need to as well. But you also can bring a guy like Jamie Osborne into the centres later in the game, then pop a guy like Kieran Frawley at 15. So there's a lot of things you can do here, and I really do like the versatility of the backline. Looking at the wingers, Jacob Stockdale and Jimmy O'Brien, big game for these two. I mean, there's a few injuries now for the outside backs for Ireland. Can these guys capitalize? Can Jacob Stockdale play like he did in his prime for Ireland? Very happy to see him back in the team, but those two guys definitely have a big game ahead of them against some really quick Japanese wingers as well. Looking at the centres, Stuart McCloskey and Robbie Henshaw. Very happy to see Robbie Henshaw there, but I will say, I've seen this in the comments as well, Ireland definitely do have a bit of a long-term problem when it comes to their centres. I don't really see any really good young centres that, for me, kind of embody the same type of game style and play, like a Henshaw, like a Gary Ringrose, like a Stuart McCloskey. So I even didn't realize Stuart McCloskey is still on the older side. He's kind of gone through a late growth spurt in his career with how his form is. So his form is definitely taking a late increase in his career. So it's going to be very interesting to see what centres come from Ireland in the next few years. Maybe Jamie Osborne could be a future centre kind of player for Ireland. He is very good all over wherever he plays. Maybe not on the wing, but I think between centre and fullback probably is his best bet down the line. Of course, Kieran Frawley as well can play wherever. But I like those wingers. And of course, at fullback, Jamie Osborne, a solid player, a quality player. I know Hugo Keenan's been really good for Leinster and for Ireland as well, but you can't forget what Jamie Osborne did in the Six Nations. This guy was scoring tries for fun. He was scoring tries, big games, big moments as well. He's a really solid player, and I don't expect this guy to fall out of the 23 anytime soon. In fact, I think he's either going to be solidly in the 23 or a really solid starting lineup player, because I would still like to see him in the number 13 jersey as well one day, alongside the likes of a Stuart McCloskey. Now, looking at the bench, they've gone for Tom Stewart, Billy Bowen, Sam Illo as the bench front row. I like the look of that. Inexperienced, young, guys that want to prove a point. This could be really good for Ireland, because I've also been seeing that the prop stocks, the front row stocks maybe were getting a bit old. Of course, not a guy like Dan Sheehan, but I'm talking about Tide Furlong, Andrew Porter and those guys. They are getting a bit later in their careers. So to see guys like a Tom Stewart, a Billy Bowen and a Sam Illo get an opportunity together as a unit as well, I think that is a very good selection from the coaches. They're going to look to prove a point together. They're going to look to come on, absolutely dominate at scrum time and be really versatile, agile, athletic, quick, explosive around the park. So I'm very excited about that. Three very exciting youngsters there. Cormac Izuchukwu at number 19, a very versatile player, almost like a hybrid player. Reminds me a little bit of a Tide Burn, not exactly like a Tide Burn, but he can play lock, he can play 8, he can play 6, he can play 7, he can play all over the forward pack, and he is a very valuable player for the future for Ireland. I do expect, I think especially after the 2027 World Cup, I expect guys like Cormac Izuchukwu, Edwin Adogbo, Darragh Murray, those guys to get a lot more game time, but to at least have them in the environment with guys like a Tide Burn, like a now a Nick Timoney, Jack Conan and Caelan Doris, for them to, Josh van der Fleer as well, for those guys to learn from those experienced Ireland legends will honestly help these guys out in the future for their careers as well, and they can only get better from this. And of course, Bryn Ward, number 20, I know a lot of fans will be very happy to see that. He definitely does deserve the opportunity, and that backup forward pack is so explosive, so young but so good as well. I mean, I'm really excited for that backup forward pack to just come on and cause havoc. I think maybe keeping guys on like a Timoney, like a Janssen, like a Byrne, and then bringing a few other guys off, but keep bringing those guys on, then you can have a really quick, skillful forward pack as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Ireland can actually match the speed of a Japan the way they play, because with that potential second half forward pack, they definitely can, and they can do even better as well. They're looking at the three backs on the bench: Nathan Doak, Harry Byrne, and Bundi Aki. I do like that kind of balance of the backline on the bench. Nathan Doak, a really good player, can kick for poles as well, but I don't think he'll need to because Harry Byrne is there. Good to see Harry Byrne there getting an opportunity. Probably not the number one choice fly half right now. It probably is Sam Prendergast right now, just based on that late form of him for Leinster. But he still has an opportunity to play himself into the 23 every single week, because if Kieran Frawley has a good game, then I think the need for a Harry Byrne maybe falls out a little bit, because Kieran Frawley is such a good utility player. So that's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. If Kieran Frawley has a good game, then I fully expect to see maybe Kieran Frawley and Jamie Osborne on the bench going forward. So Harry Byrne has a big game here on his hands. He has to step up. And of course, Sam Prendergast still needs to play at a good level, because he was poor in the first first half of the game against Australia. Then in the final quarter of the game, he really stepped it up. So need to see more from Sam Prendergast. Need to see a little bit more from Harry Byrne as well, because I fully do believe Kieran Frawley is going to come out with a point to prove. And of course, Bundi Aki at number 23. What a player to bring on. I fully expect him to probably come on for a guy like Stuart McCloskey to play alongside Robbie Henshaw. Not a game where you want to be losing a lot of players to injury. So if you get through 55 to 60 minutes and you are in a healthy lead, take those guys off that you know are going to play next week against the All Blacks. Against the All Blacks. Take those guys off. Bring guys like Bundi Aki on, because he probably will be on the bench against the All Blacks next week. But still, don't risk it with a guy like a Stuart McCloskey that's in the form of his life. But a really solid team here. I'll go over the team one more time. Tom O'Toole, Ronan Kelleher, Thomas Clarkson, Tide Byrne as captain, James Ryan, Jack Conan, Nick Timoney, Sean Janssen, Craig Casey, Kieran Frawley, Jacob Stockdale, Stuart McCloskey, Robbie Henshaw, Jimmy O'Brien, Jamie Osborne, Tom Stewart, Billy Bowen, Sam Illo, Cormac Izuchuku, Bryn Ward, Nathan Doak, Harry Byrne, and Bundi Aki. So thank you so much for all the support. Let me know what you think of the team down below in the comments. I will be responding to all the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.